Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
You will
relevant.
bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican priest, verbis Latin. Literally not true. I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Good to have you here today. Happy Tuesday afternoon to you. This is the Dr. Seuss edition of the show. Not really, though. Not sponsored by him or his estate or the foundation that bears his name or anything else. It's a little bit of a wild one today. A little bit of a wild one, so we'll see how this goes this afternoon. Just waiting for the court to come back. They're currently still at break. There'll be just a couple more minutes. All right. Welcome back. Let's see. See if I can get this one to work as well. I think we've got some action in court. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's just a deputy. A bailiff. Are you referring to one fish, two fish, red fish, poo fish? Yes, apparently we are. My tummy hurts. My tummy hurts after the laughter that ensued. This trial was supposed to be about the pen, and it became about the poop. Did I see poop? There it is. No, I didn't see that one. A little bit of a modern music tie-in there. Now my tummy hurts. Just that was pretty funny, and yeah, we're not gonna laugh. Back to serious matters. So, welcome back. I'm trying to see who won this. Oh, it's Kim R. Congratulations, Kim. Everything IP related worldwide is your responsibility because you were first in chat. We're punishing you. Your promptness has earned you a punishment. Thank you very much, Kim. You've won before many times. You are, in fact, a habitual offender. You're used to this type of show. So, sounds good. We'll be back with that in a little bit. I can't hold it in and show us the thumbnail. Oh, no. Let me see if I can pull it up here. What do I have, like 3 Oh, there it is. Download. Oh my goodness, I just looked at it. Okay, stop. Hang on. Here we go. We're gonna put this up on the screen for y'all. For y'all's enjoyment. Just 1 second here. It's gonna be on camera 8. We can do this. I have to put it on the other switcher. Why is it taking forever? Media. Where's the Finder window? Where's the Finder window going? Current page. Done. does show the folder. Why is my computer not working properly? Let's fix this. We'll go the other route.
What more do you need to see?
You need to see the part you want to see. Put it on the other computer. Let's go to the first one's the right one, right? Pen. I said pen because I'm reading pen. Right, Red? Current page. Compress, download. And we'll put it on this machine instead. All right. That was a long way around, but we got it. Here is our thumbnail for The Pen is Mightier Than the Sword. Defendants present. We've got a representation of the cell with what the officers described as feces all over it. We've got the whatnots in the corner, which we were counting. And then we have a couple book titles. I'm not sure if I want to. I can't zoom in on these. I'm just sorry, not able to. Let me tell you what the book titles are. We have, starting at the top on the left, Catch-20 Poo. This is so bad. Metamorphosis. Feces. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. No changes on that one. Taming of the Pooh. Lord of the Flings. The Prince and the Pooper. Horton Hears a Pooh. The Shat in the Hat. Rip Van Tinkle. The Brown Badge of Courage. These are all fantastic books. Then down at the bottom in the stack, we have A Tale of Two Cities. But cities is spelled wrong. Guess How Much I Love Pooh, Life of Pooh, Rich Dad, Pooh Dad, Warren Pooh, Chicka Chicka Poo Poo, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, also spelled differently. There you go. That's what we have. So, thumbnail of the year. Great titles. I think the editor just cropped his ears off a little bit. Not like Red Pen, but I think just the image makes it look that way. I made them really small so no one could read them, but we all know. We will know. Yes, you know. I read them to y'all, so now you know. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's turn on our counter. We're counting. We're counting whatnots. We have 6 of them so far. We're saving them up until the end of the trial, but we'll see what whatnots happen here. We're just a few minutes late, coming back from lunch, and I've got to ask, how is the defendant doing? We realize he's got a history. He's in prison for a reason. This happened in custody. Well, he was in prison. He's in prison for a reason, and there are some pretty terrible reasons. We have 19 pen mentions. Pens were the ones to count, I think. Fiddler on the Pooh. Oh, there's a good one. That has songs that go along with it. He's providing much entertainment. He's doing remarkably well for a pro se defendant, and I think this is because the prosecution just isn't objecting whenever he can. Is the sound off? No. Can you hear me? I think you can hear me. Tale of Two Poos. Spent some time in the law library. I think it's all out of my system now. Good. I'm glad we got that taken care of. Hope you're feeling better, Greeners. All right. Any moment now, we're going to be coming back to court, continuing the examination. What other, maybe some other officers get called on this one? Possibly. Do you think? Fell down a rabbit hole the other day. Found myself pulling up information on starting a bagged ice business where you sell water to people frozen. Apparently, the company that sells the bagged ice making machines thinks it's a great idea and that I should do it. Sick to selling e-bikes. The reason I asked this is the other day I went to the bagged ice. It's, the Twice the Ice place. That's actually the brand name that I was talking about. I went there and I was fighting with the bagged ice machine, the dispenser, because apparently it's one of the few places in the world that still takes cash. And I did not have cash, but it also has an option for swiping, like scan a QR code on your phone and click this button and it will pay. And so I'm trying to go through these hoops, and they've made it the most difficult process in the world to buy ice using your phone. And so while I'm saying unkind things under my breath, and I see a truck pull up, and clearly he's pulling up to the ice machine house. It's like a standalone ice place, and all automated, no people work there. And so I'm like, fine, step back, let these guys get their ice while I still figure out how to get mine. And I step back, my kids step back, and the guy comes over. He does come to the ice house, but he has a little key in his pocket, and he turns the key and opens the door. He reaches in, arm length, and then he reaches in with his other hand, and he pulls out a stack of dollar bills. I don't know if there were ones, tens, 20s, fives. I have no idea. But a stack, and he's holding it together, trying to not just have them go everywhere. And he goes over to his truck and opens the door with his elbow because it was already open a little bit, opens it the rest of the way, and he has a bucket, and he just dumps the money in the bucket. I'm like, oh, that's the ice house owner. And I was joking to him because I saw him grab all the money. And I said, hey, sir, you aren't interested in selling your business anytime soon, are you? And he just laughed. He's like, nope, this is all I do. We've got 3 of these, and once a week he just goes by and collects the stack of cash and then leaves. Just runs itself. So didn't want to sell. I talked a little bit about the business and how it works, and he said makes really good money in the summer, but it doesn't do as well in the winter for some reason. I'm still trying to figure that part out. All right, Tai Chi Lemur, I also found an undocumented IR code for my TV that hard boots it and saved it to my flipper and home assistant. Oh, you got a flipper. Ooh, those are cool. Judge is objecting more than the prosecutor. The judge objects when his courtroom gets slandered, I think is what's happening. Is it? Are we live, or is that person just holding really... Oh, she's scrolling. She's scrolling. We're live. It's all good. It's all good. All right. The judge was really offended at the idea that his courtroom was anything but fair. And he was also very offended that the defendant brought up obviously a raw spot where the judge had to apologize to someone who was incarcerated for, 18 years. And is that the case? That he says, we got an award for the prosecution on that case from the president or something 18 years ago? Like, well, you did, but then you had to say sorry, it was the wrong guy. So which one are you hanging on to, the award, or are you going to say sorry for real? But anyway, crazy. I thought owning a laundromat would be a good venture. It is, but it's a little more labor intensive. I think you have to visit it and collect the coins more, and then there's the counting the coins and everything. When it comes to dollar bills, it's a little easier. Plus, it just runs itself. So I did some research. Apparently, one of those little ice huts costs the same amount as a house, but you can't live in it. So there's that. $130,000 for a shed, for a tough shed with an ice machine. Figure you could probably make one cheaper, but automate it and everything is difficult. My husband has automated our house with Home Assistant, and I don't love it. I don't love it. Currently, aim in life is to have as a few smart things in my home as possible. There are a couple that I'm grateful to have. The ability to control my my Airbnb electronic lock is very useful, because we can be like out of state, and when our renter shows up and they're having trouble with something, and we can verify that everything's right and fix it remotely. You can say, okay, well, we'll change it to, you text us this code and we'll change it to that, and now it's working, and then they can get in. That's useful. I like having that being able to be automated. Let's see. I found a secret button that simulates unplugging the TV and plugging it back in, because the power button doesn't really turn the power off. Otherwise, you have to hit the bunch of buttons. Coworker owns a laundromat, but she does well, but she's always there. The laundromat, the car wash, and the ice machine are probably the best, but I think ice machine would be my favorite, because it doesn't usually take coins. It's usually dollar bills. If you can keep everything to the dollar bills instead of the coins, it takes a ton of the labor out of it. Plus, you don't have to pick up as much. $1 in quarters weighs more than a dollar bill. Now I just need to find a place with people who go by with boats headed to the lake and need to buy 15 bags of ice to fill up their cooler for the day. That I can build a small house on with an ice machine in. Let's see. Is it true that in certain states in the U.S. no law degree is required to become a judge? Colity, I'm not sure about the judge side of it. But I know there are a couple states where you don't have to go to law school to become a lawyer. Usually a judge has served as a lawyer before. So I don't think you need a doctorate in criminal justice.
Hello.
To be a judge, but you might need to have experience as a lawyer. So I think there might be a path you could get to be a judge without going to school. But you probably won't start there. It's not something you can just apply to out of college and really have an expectation of winning. A lot of judges get nominated to the bench by like a governor, and then approved by Senate or House or something like that. So, and then after that, after their 4 or 6 year term, they're up for retention votes instead of re-election. It's a retention vote. Should we keep the judge? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then another one is nominated by whoever's then the sitting governor at that time. What's the count for? We're counting whatnots. We've had 6 of them. 6 and whatnot.
In front of the Walmart.
John Oliver did an episode talking about how some places had judges that weren't lawyers, if I remember correctly. The first job was a municipal center. The judge was a certified financial planner. There you go. It was all about the court fines. That's what they wanted. They wanted the revenue. Find a spot on the river close to the docks. I'm looking for a boat ramp. I want one close to a boat ramp because it's the boats that are going out fishing on the ocean in the south. And by south, I'm talking about North Carolina and south on the East Coast and maybe to the Gulf Coast as well. There you've got warm water and it's hot weather. So the ice melts. That's important. You need your ice to melt because it's, selling ice to an Eskimo is like a one-time proposition. But you need it hot so the ice melts. You need them to be out going fishing and drinks and everything else. So they need multiple bags of ice. And if they catch fish, they can also buy ice to keep the fish cold after they come back all the way home in the boat. I think that would be a good business. Especially if your expense, electricity and water is about 21 cents plus the plastic bag. It's 21 cents per 20-pound bag, and you sell it $3. Okay, Judge is here. We have to stop talking about ice businesses and go on the record here in just a second.
You wear multiple hats, sir.
A dock is all you need of that. But then I want the people to drive by and see the sign. It's like, oh, we need ice. I don't want to be on the boat, like on the lake where they have to come by my dock and say, oh, you guys have ice?
And we now recall cause number 23 CR727, the state of Texas versus Raymond Pickles,
Multiple
who is
locations.
present, and the state's attorneys. Anything to bring up before we bring the jury in? State and defense. Ready to go? Ready to move forward?
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
So 3 years. So, okay. Oh yeah. All the witnesses that you found. Can you tell me?
Yeah, he has to.
I called Ford. I'm calling Javante Stevens, Gary Senegar, Arliss Anderson, and I think it's Thomas Darby.
No Ricky?
And then Mr. Tinker.
What
And then Matt Gardner, probably, the investigator.
Probably.
Yeah, I hadn't decided yet. I don't have to call him, but
Okay.
He's on the list.
Ready?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, bring the jury in. Let's move on.
Halfway through your trial is not a good time to ask for discovery about who the opposing side is calling as a witness. But he sticks her head out. Get the jury. Judge says they're supposed to get in here. It's way too many witnesses. That's all the officers. Have to buy a tow truck that can get wet. Ruth, that is awesome. Congratulations. 27 years. It's an inspiration.
No, it's not.
There's lakes everywhere.
But whoever's standing up when the music stops is it. Is it.
I'm sorry. I have to back up. I have to grab that. No, I didn't get it. Okay, we're going to jump to the other one.
Calling your witnesses. Call your next one, please.
So Javante Stevens.
Come forward, please, sir.
Okay, got it.
And raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
He swore, so he's in. He's in. Sorry, we're caught up now. We're live.
Can you state your name, please?
My name is Javante Stevens.
And where do you work?
I work for Jefferson County.
How long have you worked for them?
12 years.
What do you do for
I'm a correction officer.
them? You always been a correctional officer with Jefferson County and since you've been with them?
For the most part.
For the most part, what else do you do with them?
I have been a deputy in 2015.
Okay. Back on June 6th of 2023, were you a deputy with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office?
I was in corrections.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. You were a corrections officer with corrections. Thanks for correcting me. You're jailer back then, is that correct?
Yes.
And how long had you been a jailer about when this happened?
About 9 years old.
Okay. In dealing with inmates, are some easier to deal with than others?
Definitely.
And are some more compliant than others?
Definitely.
How would you rank Raymond Pickles for the time that you had to deal with him?
As far as complying, not always complying by no means.
Okay. So this day, why were you called over to the cell number 6, the isolation cell?
Lieutenant Ford had advised me that he needed help to persuade Mr. Peoples to move cells.
And did you in fact go over there to try to help persuade him?
Yes.
Did it look like you were going to be able to persuade him to do anything?
Not at all.
What was the posture you could see when you were talking to him? What was he doing?
Very frantic. Very irate. Very, very mad.
Did he say anything about what he was going to do if people came into his cell?
Yeah, he kept saying that he was gonna kill Ford. He wanted to kill Lieutenant Ford for some reason.
Had you known him to have that personal thing against Ford before?
Yes, he had said it before.
Well, let's talk. When you get an order to go move somebody from one cell to another, is it usually a big ordeal?
No, not only.
Whenever you go and tell somebody you're moving, is there usually a good reason you're moving?
Yes.
And in this case, Lieutenant Ford said they were doing maintenance on the cell because they had to do some security stuff on it. Is that correct?
I don't believe so.
And when you went there, what were you trying to tell Mr. Peoples?
That we would just want to move him from one cell to the other so that we could operate on the cell that he was in. He kept complaining that the cell was dirty, and we, confirmed that it was not, that it had been cleaned since the last guy left.
So you can confirm that, is that right?
Yes.
And when y'all went down there later on, when you took him down to the cell, was it clean?
Yes.
So was there any reason for him not to want to go down to that cell?
No.
Had you known him to not want to do things before and just be stubborn about it?
Yes.
Have you ever had to use any physical force against him to do things before that?
I do believe, I can't remember exactly for the reason, but yeah, definitely with some altercation.
So that day you go show up and try to help out. How many people tried to talk Raymond Peoples out of coming out of that cell?
Probably about 4 at least.
Let me put it up here on State Exhibit 1. So the jury will know where you were, okay? Who's this at the cell right now?
That's Officer Dorothy.
Who's that?
That's me.
So are you listening to Darby kind of try to talk him out?
Yeah.
And in a minute, do you kind of take over and start having
Yeah.
conversations?
Yeah, I definitely intervene to try to get him to calm down. I tend to have a decent rapport with him most times when he's in the cell. So I figured I could probably talk him into it, but he wasn't having it that day.
Did you see the stuff he had wrapped around his hands at that point?
I don't recall if I seen it at that time.
Did you see it later?
I definitely seen it later.
Okay. Did you also see some things in his hands?
Yes, he had hands strapped to his hand with some type of cloth.
Now let's see, when y'all get him out of the cell in a minute, I want to get there. He comes out. Is this you here?
Yes.
Okay. So this is you back here, back behind Darby?
Yes.
Trying to open the door.
Now it looks like when you get on the ground down there, are you behind him, holding on to him, trying to restrain him?
Yeah, I think I'm like closer to the ground, like almost like kneeling.
So your point of view is down here on that side, right? Which side are you on?
I'm my back is like closer to the door, like against the door.
Okay. And so is there a lot going on at that time?
Definitely.
Did you ever see Mr. Pickles with bandages with pins on his hand?
Yeah, I seen it immediately. When I first came out of the cell, first thing he did was raise his hands up, and I seen him just why I grabbed him and tried to get him to the ground as quickly as I could.
Kind of took a little bit to get him down.
Definitely, because he tried to get back up. He was very resilient.
And when y'all got him on the ground, was he still struggling to get back up?
Yes.
He still had his hands free moving around?
Yes, his hands were still struggling.
Did it take you a while to kind of get him under control?
Definitely.
Did you see him striking at anybody or doing anything while he was on the ground?
I just seen a lot of flailing, not really necessarily seeing him strike anybody, not sure, because I was kind of behind him, like my head was like kind of close to his at one point, so wasn't really sure he was going, but I was trying to get him to stop. Okay.
So once y'all get him subdued, did y'all take the pins away from him? Or do you remember?
I remember it being a struggle. I remember we got his hands restrained first to have better control of his hands. But I remember people struggling to get him off because they were tied so tightly.
Okay, so he's got his cuffs. They put the cuffs not behind him at first, right? Y'all didn't put the cuffs behind him. The cuffs were in front.
Yeah,
and then
to the ground.
And still have the stuff, and he had the pins.
Definitely.
Okay, y'all were still trying to get those away from him. So after you get him down and you've got the restraints on him and everybody's still holding, did you finally get the pins away from him?
I'm not sure if we got him away from him immediately because, like I said, it was a struggle.
There's a lot going on there.
Definitely, it's a lot of chaos.
And that person you saw that night, do you see him in the courtroom today? Oh, that day. You see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And can you point to and describe something he's wearing?
He had on a black collar shirt.
record reflect these identify the defendant?
Yes, it will.
Now, the person that you saw that day doing all this, he didn't look like the calm man sitting here, did he?
No,
What about the State's Exhibit 8? Did he look more like that?
definitely.
That's the person that y'all were dealing with, wasn't it, that day? After you get him up out of this, where did y'all take him?
We took him to the cell that we were trying to originally get him to go to, which was isolation cell 1.
So get him down to the end, get him into the cell. What happened when he's in the cell?
We were trying to get him to calm down. We were trying to get him to lay flat so that we could take the restraints off of him. He kept frantically like yelling at first, and then eventually, once he was no longer like so winded, it began to escalate back into an altercation.
So what did y'all have to do eventually?
We ended up having to put him in. I believe we put him in a wrap.
Okay. When did you see the injuries on Lieutenant Ford?
Yeah.
When did you first notice them?
After we had gotten him into the route, I seen his face, and he was bleeding my
States 15?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, all you saw, you were behind him and you saw the flailing, but you didn't see him strike anyone directly. You couldn't see it.
No, I couldn't tell who he had been striking. It was chaotic.
Was he yelling anything while he was struggling?
He was definitely yelling, and he was going to feel forward.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass it.
Afternoon, Mr. Stevens. So I heard you tell Mr. Laird that normally you have a good rapport with me, so you came to the cell to try to calm him down, right? Normally. So would you agree that on a regular basis, outside of this situation, I am not frantic, irate, and chaotic?
I see you calm more than I've seen you frantic.
Is it the camera that they took the picture of? Is it routine that they, when y'all come to take a person out they cell like that or whatnot, is it routine that y'all grab the camera and record back then, before they got the cameras on the, because now they wear the cameras on the lieutenants wear the cameras on their shirt, right? But before then, they didn't have the cameras on the shirt, right?
No.
Y'all use the cameras, the handheld cameras. Was it normal when you have to go in a person's cell that's acting irate, that you have the camera for insurance and they record?
I don't remember when they started doing like the camera, like making sure that every time, like if we think that there's going to be an incident, that we bring the cameras. But at some point, yeah, it was definitely they tried to make that routine to bring the camera out there to record.
Is it a reason you would assume that they would take a bunch of pictures of isolation cell 6, but no pictures of isolation cell 1, with me having a problem with that cell being dirty? Do you know the reason why they would not take pictures of isolation cell 1?
I'm not sure.
How did they confirm that cell was clean?
We all had looked in isolation cell 1, and then once we put you in the cell 2, pretty sure you and everybody else confirmed those things.
Now, when you walk up that hall on a regular basis, do you normally smell urine and feces? Being that it's normally mentally ill inmates back there.
Pretty much throughout all of them were going, it smells like urine and feces.
So, so the fact that you smell that all the time, it's hard to tell where it's coming from, right?
Yeah.
So when you went in there, isolation cell 1, did you smell anything out of ordinary? Because you were used to that type of smell, right?
Maybe I assume that I guess.
Yeah. So did you look around the walls and check the floors and all that while you was in there? Or was you too focused on me?
We had to be prior.
Prior? Like you checked yourself before you put me in?
Prior to moving you in there when you said it was, you told me that, oh, I don't want to go in there because it's dirty. When I got urine and feces, I went and looked and.
And complete your answer.
Yes.
You went to look and.
Oh, I went to look and noticed that there was no urine or feces anywhere.
Really? So if getting back to something a little bit, so was this before you talked to me or after you talked to me?
I'm pretty sure it was after I talked to you.
After you talked to me. Boom. Okay.
The defendant really likes using this video player. It's not his video exhibit. He didn't bring anything to.
Do you remember the first time? The first time you came, when you walked in and talked to me, do you remember? Is that the moment you first walking in, you coming in? You remember?
I'm guessing so. I don't remember. But that was the first time I walked in.
Just to make sure when I go all the way back here. Boom. I'm gonna start from the synagogue. 10-4 in synagogue. This is the first people that talk to me.
Hold on. But once again, you're testifying and you have to ask him a question. You just made a statement and you're not under oath, and the court is going to instruct the jury until a witness is under oath, their statements are not to be considered as evidence. He has an opportunity to give a full statement when the time is right. But the questions to the witnesses are not testimony. It's the answers that they give. So be careful about how you word. Don't make statements, but ask the questions. Yes, sir. Thank you.
I think this defendant is going to drag this out and watch the entire video. This time at least we can see. There was one time when we couldn't see. They turned on the lights. Was that when the poop got thrown?
So, Mr. Stevens, we're gonna watch this from here. Would it be okay if you please let me know when you identify the moment you check my cell? I mean, check isolation one for me.
Spoiler alert. I don't think you did. Counter's working again. One, 3, 6. The judge. Like,
Do you see? Did you just see somebody check isolation one?
Like Officer Dorgan went checked isolation one.
Okay. Thank you.
he's sinking. The judge's chair is amazing. It's nice. Tufted back, overstuffed, the high edges. Did at one time have a crisp version of the Texas state seal on it. It's now a little bit faded as it rubs against the headrest area. But it's a nice chair. What is the counter for? The counter is, while we're waiting here, I'll just show you. This is the counter right here. And if you click the like button within 10 or so seconds, this would update. Right now it shows 145. So it would update again in just a minute. So assuming somebody clicked the like button. But that's just a live counter of how many likes we have. Here, it's going. There it is. 146. Regina, that was you. Yes, a little bit of chair envy going on. A little bit of post-lunch nappage is in order. I love these. The counter is made by a company called Smurl, S-M-I-I-R-L, and I ordered the custom version, which means I can program it. If I knew somebody really smart, which I do because my son's smart, I can have him write a program and he can update it with whatever number I want. however it wants. And so I can have this show how many subscribers we have, how many likes we have. I could have them. I could show super chats or all sort anything that you can count and keep track of. Can show, but there are also versions that are specifically for like Instagram or Facebook, where you just buy it and link it to your account, and it just shows how many subscribers you have. I didn't like that one very much, so I paid a little extra for the custom version so I could control it on my end. Some companies use these when they have like a sales team and they have a goal to hit a certain number of sales during the day. This will track sales live for you. Just plug it in with your API, and it's really cool. It's a cool system. Not a sponsor, by the way. Paid full price. Don't even have an affiliate link to give you. About to open the door. They're going to go hands-on. Here we go. He's getting geared up. Everyone's in position. 3, 2, 1. Door open, grab, and pull, pull, pull. Slam
So,
the door.
Mr. Stevens, based on what we all just seen, can we now agree that you did not check isolation 1 before you put me upset?
We can agree that I didn't check it after I spoke with you.
Check it out that you spoke. No, you said so earlier. Would you say that you checked the cell before you spoke with me?
I said, I believe I checked it out.
Okay. Can we now agree that you didn't?
I just said we can agree that I did not check it after I spoke with you.
Okay, yeah, okay, sorry. My mistake. So would this have been an easy fix to just go get the trustee to clean it out?
The trustee had already cleaned it out.
When?
I can't remember.
So if I felt different, right, and all I wanted was to clean it out, wouldn't it have been easier to just call him back to clean it out so we could have skipped around all of this?
Do you know the answer to that? Can you answer that?
I say would it have been easier to just call the trustee back so we could have avoided this? Do you think it would have been easier?
Yeah, I actually have no idea because you didn't seem like you want to move. Period.
Why not?
You said you didn't trust forward.
Did you testify earlier that I had a problem with moving because that cell was really nasty?
That's one of the things you also said.
And do you remember me asking me that? Can you just tell him to have the trustee go clean the cell out? You know, so if I felt the cell was nasty and that's why I didn't want to move, would it have been easier to just call the trustee back to clean it out?
Again, I have no idea.
No further questions.
He's not winning.
Who's in charge of the jail? Is it the jailers or is it the inmates?
The jail.
So when an inmate is asked to move somewhere, is there really much choice for him to do that, not to move? And whenever y'all told him he's going to move, should he just stuck his hands through, been cuffed, and walked down and then talked about cleaning the cell down there?
Yes.
Now, when you got there, did he already have his hands wrapped, ready to go, or could you remember?
I can't remember.
He doesn't get to dictate everything, does he? No. What happens if you start letting the inmates dictate how everything goes in that jail?
Wouldn't run properly.
So whenever you're asked, and people asked him nicely, didn't they? Numerous times, didn't they? And one person, even Darby, even if you don't show on here, but you know you looked at the cell before, but Darby went down and looked in, yes. And he came back and there was nothing wrong, right? Yes. So why is it, if y'all have done everything you can, looking at the cell, it's been cleaned, and he doesn't want to go, why should he get to dictate this? Should he? Sure. How do you deal with inmates that don't obey the rules that?
Normally it was through disciplinary action.
Just like outside the jail, right? If somebody violates a rule, they have to get disciplined, don't they?
Yes.
And if they violate a rule here and they won't do what you ask them to do, then you have to escalate a little bit, don't you? Try to get them to come down to the cell, right?
Yes.
And did y'all do that?
Yes.
And then you stepped up again. There was the pepper balls, right?
Yes.
And then you stepped up again and you had to go get him out.
Yes.
And all this time, all over whether he thought it was a dirty cell or not. Am I right?
Yes.
Do you really think that was the issue?
No.
Is he more about control than most of the times when he does things with people?
Definitely.
Anything else?
Yes. So,
Little recross.
did you not testify twice? Did you testify twice that on a regular basis, I'm more calm than this?
Yes.
So, is that contrary to me being irate and irrational on a regular basis?
Well, I never said you were irate and rational. You're rational on a regular basis, but you do have a tendency to be.
You agree with that?
I can agree with that.
What'd you just say?
I said I can agree with that.
Well, that's not a question, sir. Please follow the rules. Any question that is asked, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to instruct you again. It's not evidence. When they take the stand and under oath, that's what's evidence and any exhibits that are admitted. Please follow the rules. Thank you. Ask questions.
Do y'all have a policy that y'all go by? Yes. So within this policy, is sanitation one of?
What do you mean?
Do the officers have to make sure there's a clean environment for the inmates and the correctional officers also?
Yes.
So it would be a normal for and simple for a person when a person asks, okay, can you just clean it? Right? I'm insecure about it. If an inmate just simply asks, can you just clean it? I'm insecure. Will it be against policy to just do it? Or
Wouldn't be against policy.
I mean, it'll be pretty much in the range of policy, right? Seeing that you have to keep the sanitized areas at all times.
It wouldn't be against policy.
No further question. Let's do it.
Anything else?
When you got down to cell 1, if you'd gone in there and y'all were bringing him in and it had been covered in feces and urine, would you have fought with him in cell 1? Or would you have said, man, you're right back out and had it clean?
Definitely would have sent them out and had it clean.
But not any time while y'all were down there. Y'all were down in cell 1 for a good time down there.
Works.
Y'all were kind of letting him calm down, catch his breath, right?
Yes.
So was there anything that you saw that was wrong with cell 1?
No. Absolutely.
One last question. While you were dealing with me in cell 1, did you have time to look around?
You know, I had time to look around.
You did? So in the middle of me being so combative, you had time to check and make sure it wasn't. You had time to check the walls and look on the floor. It was a pretty good range of time.
Again, like I stated earlier, when you first got in the cell, you were exhausted, but you still wouldn't let us take off your cuffs, and you were kind of not as combative at first, but not compliant at the same time. So yes, I had time to look around there in that time.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Does it stand excused?
Please, Judge.
You're excused, sir. Thank you. Next, please.
Gary Senegar. Thank you.
Please come forward, sir. Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Thank you.
State your name for the jury, please.
Very simple, June.
And where do you work now?
I'm not working. I work at Many Rogers. I'm not working at the county.
No, but where do you work now? You work at Many Rogers?
Yes.
What's Many Rogers for people that don't know?
Juvenile detention center.
Okay. And so did you back on June 6th of 2023 work as a correctional officer for the Jefferson County Adult Correctional Facility?
Yes.
And how long did you work out there?
5.5 years.
Decided it was time for change. So back on June 6th, 2023, were you called to the solitary or isolated cell 6 in the Jefferson County Correctional Facility?
Yes, sir.
What was the purpose of you being called there?
Inmate was having a little difficult situation. It's kind of irate. They want to move cells.
Why did they call you in?
I was gone for the guy that I could relate to certain ones of the inmates.
Yeah.
De-escalate and try to calm situations down, to try to rectify it. Maybe they see we can take another route, a more peaceful route.
So looking up here at the State's Exhibit 1, is that you standing next to Lieutenant Ford?
Yes.
And did you actually go to this isolated cell number 6 and speak to Raymond Pickles?
Yes.
Were you able to de-escalate the situation?
I thought I calmed it down a little bit. We had a pretty good rapport. He and I, talk.
Okay.
Tell him like, hey, but just chill out. Chill out. And making it worse.
Yeah.
So, but it would go up and down. See what it felt like he was hurt.
Good. Well, at one point, was the big deal that he didn't want to go down to the cell because he thought it was dirty? That's what he said. Was that really the reason, do you think?
It was, they cleaned it. So I didn't clean it, but it was clean.
Okay. I mean, y'all ended up back down there later on, or you brought him down there. Was he clean when he got there? Okay. So he won't just comply, will it? No matter what's happening?
He did.
Okay. And then what was the next step y'all had to do to try to get him out?
Good job.
Could you see when you were talking to him, did you see the bandages he had around his hands, the things wrapped around his hands getting?
Yes.
Did he mention anything about fighting to you?
He didn't tell me.
Okay. Did he mention anything about not trusting Ford?
Yes.
He had a personal thing against Ford, didn't he?
Yeah, I have. Love ignorance.
So
the video's still playing.
After a little while, we see even Ford's trying to talk to him too, wasn't he? Yes?
Yes.
And Darby came to talk to him too, did he? And who else came to talk to him? Was it Javante?
Thank you, Steve. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Ford, you, Javante, and Darby. Darby. Y'all, the four of you tried, right? And it just didn't work, did it? You ever run into inmates that like to be in control? Just they have to be in control. Everything's about them and they're in control. Was that kind of the situation here? He had to be.
At that moment,
He wasn't gonna budge, was he?
I had him at first, but then something happened.
You don't know why he just snapped and went the other way? Okay. So here y'all go firing the pepper balls, everything, and then open the jail cell. What happens when you open the jail cell?
Oh, great. He came out like at Lieutenant Ford.
Okay. Did he have that mattress up there against that door?
No, the first time we had to do this twice.
Yeah.
First time we had to open the door and then shot the pepper ball down there.
Right.
He had his mat up. He had his mat covered.
Right.
And then took it across the room.
Okay. And then the second time they opened it up? Okay. Where were you in the altercation? You remember?
They would always put me in the front. I think I was on the old side.
Let's see if we can get to that point and you kind of point yourself out. Let's get that. Okay, so is this you right here?
Yes.
Okay.
This was after the pepper ball spray. Right?
Yes, this after the pepper ball spray. This is when he comes out of the mattress. So you're still back here, are you not? You're kind of back over there with Darby in front of you, aren't you? So did you see him flailing around with his hands or could you see?
Yes, I remember he told me, get out the way.
Who did?
I don't know.
Okay. Get out the way when he came out or when y'all were trying to get him down the ground? And what was he doing with his hands?
If I remember, it looked like he had something wrapped around his hands, like some pins and things.
Okay. What was he doing with those? Was he swinging them or was he were y'all trying to grab them? What were y'all doing?
You know, that's why I kind of stayed back because I saw it at first. And then once they got control, then we could actually try to tuck them.
Okay. Okay. So you're kind of staying back while they're on top.
So as long as one person grabbing,
Yep.
to try to restrain, can't all grab at the same time. So it's kind of like hit and miss. You have to kind of see and wait for an opportunity going so that everybody can be safe.
Did people kind of get in each other's way when they do this?
Yes.
And is that what was happening kind of?
Right.
And so his hands were free.
Right.
Okay. But you didn't see him stab anybody or do anything with the pins?
I didn't.
Okay. But you're standing back on that side of my correct?
Right.
Okay. Did y'all take him from there down to the other cell?
Yes.
And when you got down to the other cell, did you notice anything about that cell that was dirty, filthy, feces, urine everywhere where you couldn't live in? Y'all were down there for a little while he was catching his breath, weren't you?
Yeah.
And not one time did you say, you're right, we need to clean this up. I'll pass with it. Oh, wait, you see Mr. Pickles in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point to and describe something he's wearing?
Black shirt.
Record reflects he's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
I'll pass with it.
So you say you've been working with correctional for Jefferson County Correctional Facility for 5.5 years. That whole time you ran across me pretty often, right? When you first met me and you ran into me, I was in general population, right? And I was out there general population for quite a while before I ended up in the dorm, right? When you worked on the dorms with me, how was my attitude?
Real laid back and dumb.
That was it. if you was to check my track record, I don't know if you have, but I know a lot of officers that have. Before my incident in indoor and whatnot, did I have a track record of write-ups and all that? Yeah. But did you hear about me much disrespecting officers and being irate in the dorm? Not in the dorm. Because do you agree that any person acting like this on the dorm would get sent straight to max, right? So I can't remember why you got, but it was a reason. Do you remember me telling you I got tired of the inmates going in my drawer, so I put myself back there? Okay. As a matter of fact, you was there one time when I put myself back there when I wouldn't let nobody take my because they kept taking my paperwork and do you remember that time? And I refused to let anybody touch my property. I say put me in indoor. That's where I want to go. Remember? And remember what isolation cell that I used to like going to? Remember, I'm like, man, put me in one. I used to tell, Sergeant,
put me in one.
Sergeant Sam, man, put me in isolation one. I like this cell. That's my favorite cell. But at this particular time, I ended up in isolation 6, correct? So there's no problem I have with isolation 1, right? But this particular day, you see me, and this ain't true. What's going on?
How did he know it was bad?
You talked me down. I was almost ready to. All right, man. Listen. Well, I cuff up. Can you get him to go clean up? Man, I'm gonna talk to him. You cuff up, man. I'm like, all right. Next thing I know, he pull up at the thing. You remember that being my? You know what? No, he ready to fight. So you know what I'm saying? He just trying to hurt it. Now, you know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to clean up nothing. He just want to hurt it. And then I flip.
Hold on. You got to ask questions, not give a speech. You get a chance to testify later. Ask this in a question form. These are 7 lines long. This question. I'm looking at the transcript. It's 7 lines long. Rephrase it. Be succinct. Go ahead. Rephrase your question. Just don't make it a speech. Just ask your question and he'll answer. That's the rule. That's the way it works, sir.
No speeches.
Ask your question succinctly. Thank you.
He's like, you done, Judge?
Excuse me. But do you remember any other times where you had to go pull the inmate out their cell and the lieutenant would grab the camera? Because at the time they didn't have the cameras on the chest. Now they do. Well, not. But at the time they was using the Hellhand camera, right? Certain time. So did you notice a routine that when y'all had to go pull the inmate out of the cell that was being irate, that they had grabbed the camera? It wasn't a rule. It was up to the lieutenant's supervisor's discretion. Okay. Do you remember who took those pictures of my isolation cell 6? Did you remember seeing Anderson? Because I remember Anderson taking pictures of me. Do you remember him taking pictures of the isolation cell? No. All right. So after y'all apprehended me and got me restrained off the floor and got me down to the test, did you go in that cell at any point in the midst of them ISO 6? No, isolation 1 cell. I believe I went in prior to that. All right. Yeah. So afterwards, right? How long after y'all got me in the chair can you say you all went to check that cell out to make sure it was, I believe it was checked before we went down. You believe that because somebody told you, or no? Because you checked it. No, I didn't check it, but the trustee from, because you know that because somebody told you, or you told the trustee? I saw him come to sit that day. I believe so. So, no further questions. Thank you.
Does he get to decide when he goes to isolation? He has to do something to get in isolation, then like throw feces on guards or something.
Correct.
And if he agreed, he threw something on Lieutenant Ford before in October of 22 when he got put in isolation, that would be the reason he's in isolation.
Correct.
I'll pass with him.
Have you ever known me to play with my feces? Ever get into you other than hearing, other than somebody telling me, you have walked up.
I've never witnessed you.
Right.
Yeah, not that you did.
Yeah, right. Well, from this question, yeah. Everybody, right? But do you remember when Ricky Johnson squirted waste on myself? You want to hear that? But other than you hearing about it, that one time, right? Did you hear about me ever squirting waste on anybody else or getting into a?
I've heard it twice.
Yeah. No further questions.
Nothing further.
Is this man excused?
Please, Judge.
You are excused, sir. Thank you. Let's take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. For 10 minutes or so, relax, stretch your legs, report back outside. Thank you. Everyone has to remain seated while the witness and the jury exit first. Thank you.
Hold on. We're going to cover up the camera real quick. There we go. Don't let it fall. Hold it. Hold it. There we go. Wonder what laws they're talking about there. Terrible questions. Have you ever known me to play with my... Have you ever known me to play with my poop, is what he asked him. And he's like, oh. I mean, like, have you ever heard of me squirting feces on anyone? He's like, yeah, twice now. That's 2 times.
Where is this?
No further questions. Hadriel Hillis says, the more I hear about prison, the less I want to be there. Ricky Johnson has come up again. We've heard that he's the guy. He's the poop. He's the fecal offender. I don't know how else you describe that. He's the dude. He's the man. The man with the plan in his hand. If you're wondering why we're talking about this, we thought this case would be very different. We thought it was going to be about pens. Apparently it's not. Definitely a waste of court time. When I list in my head, when I make a mental list of all the court cases that were just a waste of time, this one comes up as a solid number 2. I'm sorry. It's just, I feel like this whole thing should be a podcast episode. Oh man. Wait, it's not about pens? Well, it's sort of about pens. Red, how many pen mentions do we have so far? Yeah. The judge is like, I worked my whole career to get to this point. To sit here in judgment, supervising court cases for jurors who are doing their civic duty. And I have to sit here with a straight face as a defendant asks the witness, have you known me to play with my poop? This is what I've aspired to in life. Oh. Have 2 counters. You're running up and down stairs to count everything. So I'm guessing I'm guessing the first floor, the downstairs, is the pen counter, and then the second floor would be the. Oh, never mind. Shelly Small, you should do a podcast on the history. Oh, no. I think we're good. That podcast, we're definitely not doing any testing of anything. Cleaning downstairs today. Oh, my goodness. This is probably the crappiest start. Until then, I thought we had a super, you guys remember the Mark Jensen trial, right? Mark Jensen, and that one we had drawings galore. We didn't want any of those. But in that trial, we got this soundbite.
Your son just smeared feces all over my bathroom.
In comparison, that sounds tame. Sounds mild, almost preferable to what we're hearing in this court. Yeah. The fecal flinger. I just said my business stinks, but it's backing up. Oh, my goodness. Need the humor today. This one's way worse for sure. Yes, there's been a lot of it. Almost to the exclusion of the pens. The pens are barely going to mention. I think Jim McIntyre is the poo spreader. Jim will live forever. What trial was he even from? What was the... He was the mystery agent man. What was the... What case was that? It was like 2 years ago, wasn't it? Casotis? I don't remember the defendant. I only remember Jim McIntyre. Got a lot of mentions. As the poop flings. I just don't want to talk about it if that's the case. We're not going to talk about it. Let's talk about something else. The dude in the big hat with the incognito fluorescent jumpsuit. No, that was Tellus, wasn't it, in Las Vegas? Surely not. I'm not going to put it on screen, but I read your comment. I think they say milk cartons was the preferred method of transport and distribution. Let's talk about this guy's defense. Does he have one? I think he's gained a little bit of ground where he sort of shows that the officers were quick to testify and then realized that they had a smart defendant who had done his research. So he sort of caught them a little bit, but they've been able to sort of couch their replies and rephrase them to not be just blatant lies on the stand. Let's see. Jim was the trial where he murdered his wife and hid it from the family. Will we get an emoji recap of the case? No, not this one. There's just this one. That's the only emoji we get. Waiting for this break to end. It'll just be another minute or two. Let's see. Do a little math here in my head, which means calculator. This guy that talked with his wife and her family into believing she was sick, then told them she died at the military hospital. She was cut up in blue plastic tubs. Yeah. Oh, that guy. Yeah, Jim McIntyre was the key to that. If only we had located him and called him to the stand. All right. I'm just chilling here. I don't want to keep talking about this because it's crappy, but just waiting for the judge to take his seat and the prosecutor's calling, what, 6 witnesses? We've had 3 so far. So we're going to number 4 now. I'm positive the defendant's going to take the stand. He's been wanting to talk all day long. That's going to be fun. White Bear says, I just saw the episode of 48 Hours about that trial and finally realized what you've been talking about, the Jim McIntyre one. Yeah. I think I could watch the Darryl trial all over again. Objection, grounds, sustained, that one. Or is it objection, sustained, grounds? That was how it went. What's his defense theory here? His defense theory, he's saying that this was all in retaliation and a big conspiracy to frame him for something in retaliation for another thing. And also, he's innocent of what he's in jail for right now. Which, if his record rings true to what we can see, is some pretty serious stuff. Britta Aller, welcome. Thanks for checking in on break. We miss you. Realized I was behind in my water consumption, so I had to catch up by 1 bottle. Is this lawful law? I'm just glad that the pro se defendant is not also a sovsit. Can you imagine sovsit and stuff and poop? That would be the combination to drive any judge into retirement. What are we counting? We're counting right now whatnots. The defendant likes to say and whatnot. He said it 9 times so far. Red is also counting pen mentions. Of course, she's a little biased, being red pen. So it's an impressive gulp. What is the count at, by the way, Red? What's the count for pens? EDB tells a story about a defendant that threw poo during a trial in a courtroom. Oh, my goodness. 25 for the pen mentions. You're definitely going to win. Unless closing arguments gives me a big boost. I'm not sure if they'll let him say it in closing because the objection will be facts not in evidence. I think he's the only one that can bring it in. Yay, Shelley, you got your subpoena today. Granddaughter's ex-boyfriend and telecommunications harassment. I think the phone download is going to be the star witness. Although you're going to do great as well. I think the phone's going to tell the story. The judge just doesn't want to come back. It's like, can I just not come back to the courthouse? We just pretend like none of this ever happened. When he takes a stand, whatnot will win. I'm hoping it's the dark horse will come from behind and take the lead. Come on, Your Honor. I don't want to have to go somewhere else. But I will. Let's see if there's anyone else we can spy on while we're waiting for the judge to come back. Judge Boyd is in a little bit of a break. Judge Wolf is in a weird location. Judge Simpson is doing preliminary examinations. Let's see what he's doing right now. Hang on.
What coerces, because you're saying that the officer somehow coerced him to go from that one vehicle to the other vehicle? What did the officers do? They didn't surround him and kind of force him that way. As I see the tape, there are officers in the area, but they're not surrounding him. So what you're saying, it was the officer's statement of "we'll take you" that made your client go from that one vehicle to the other?
After he said, "I don't want you guys to take me." That's where we start talking about official status. This person with an official status as a law enforcement officer, after I told him, after I denied his offer,
the judge
is now saying, back. "Okay, we'll still take you."
We'll come back. I'm not sure what that's about, but preliminary hearing. Judge isn't buying whatever is happening up there. Restart on Simpson.
All right, we are back in trial. I ask the bailiffs to please call the jury in. Thank you.
Or just stick your head out in the hall and just yell. Jury heads home and they're like, "How was jury duty?" I don't get paid enough for this crap.
The record shall show all parties are present, the jury is present, and the state may call your next witness.
Maybe last.
Thomas Darby.
Somebody Darby. I talked over it. Sorry, Red.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please have a seat. Thank you.
Scoot forward a little bit. Now it's things makes you feel like it's right in your face. So, can you state your name, please?
Thomas Darby.
Thomas.
And where do you work, Mr. Darby?
I'm a plant operator now.
Really?
It used to be correction. You know.
Okay. Making money now, huh?
Yeah, making
money. So back on June 6th of 2023, were you with the Jefferson County Correctional Facility?
Yes.
What was your capacity there?
I was an officer. I was working in dorm, max that day.
Okay. What is max dorm? What does that mean?
I was working Mary dorm, which is more of the protective custody, not the disciplinary side.
Okay.
In dorm was more of the disciplinary, also same thing.
Okay. But when they say max, what do they mean max dorm?
Individual cells. It's not the open door open dorm like the medium and minimum security.
And people that are in the max dorms like that, can they be trustees?
Don't know now.
Back then.
Back then they were trying it out at one point, but at the time I don't remember.
Okay.
So long ago.
So was it usually medium or lower that were trustees?
Yes.
Why were you called to an isolated cell number 6?
I was working the opposite thing. They wanted assistance on trying to de-escalate or move them cells.
Okay, move who?
Mr. Pickles.
You see him in the courtroom?
Yes.
Can you point to him, describe what he's wearing?
Black shirt.
Record reflect he's identified the defendant?
It will.
Had you dealt with Mr. Pickles before?
In passing. I've never talked to him at length.
You had a good rapport with him?
Not a bad thing at all, so sure.
Sure?
Yes.
All right, so really y'all didn't have much of a relationship. Is that you up there in States Exhibit 1? And what were you doing up there?
I was talking, trying to de-escalate, trying to get him to cup up and move to ISO 1.
Was there a problem? Why was he not wanting to go?
I don't recall the issues.
Was he talking about a dirty cell down there in 1? Being where they are moving him to a dirty cell?
I don't remember that conversation. But his main thing was, if I recall correctly, he didn't want to move because Lieutenant Ford was telling him to move.
He had a thing with personal before, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Well, is there a reason? Let me kind of run this video on States Exhibit 1. At some point, did you, in this video, walk down to isolation cell 1 and look in to make sure it was clean? Is that you walking down here?
Sure was. So I did look into it.
If it would have, and I know you're just operating there for a couple of years and not being jailed, if it would have been dirty feces all over the wall and everything, what would you have done?
I would have had the trustee clean it. So, I mean, if it was dirty, I would have had him clean it.
And you don't do that, did you?
No.
Okay, so So now you're there watching other people try to de-escalate it, is that right?
Yes.
And what's going on while you're watching?
I did not honestly answer. It's been so long, but I'm sure I talked to him some more, told him it was clean. But overall, the conversation I don't recall.
Okay. What happened next after y'all couldn't get him to come out?
Lieutenant Ford told us that we were going to move him, and I don't recall after that. It was more of a decision that we were going to extract them and move themselves.
So was there pepper balls firing first? Why is the pepper balls firing?
He had the mattress up against the door, so we couldn't open the food port and cut him up through the food port.
Is the pepper balls trying to get him to comply?
Yes.
All right. Did that work?
No.
Now notice here you had the cuffs out like it was almost going to work. Or were you just hoping it would work?
I was hoping it was going to work. I had the cuffs. I was telling him when I would cuff up so it doesn't go any further.
That didn't work either, did it? No. So then this happens. And you're the one opening the door, aren't you?
That escalated quickly.
So when you were involved in all this, did you see anything in Mr. Peoples' hands?
I did see the white cloth in there with the pins.
So he had white cloths on both hands?
Yes.
And he had what with the white cloth?
With the pins.
What kind of, like ballpoint pins?
Yes. Blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And the ballpoint pins, what was he doing with those? Could you tell?
At the time he did lunge, but my main goal was trying to restrain his hands. So that's where I was focusing, not so much on the pins, more controlling his arms and his hands.
That was kind of hard to do, wasn't it? Was there several of you?
There are a lot of people in the, just in the way, I guess.
So were y'all kind of causing each other not to be able to do what you needed to do? Okay. And during that time, did you ever see anybody get injured?
I was focused on hands and body.
Okay. Afterwards, did you notice anybody was in?
I do remember seeing Lieutenant Ford's face bloody. I'm not sure at what point that was.
Like State's Exhibit 15? And was that right after the fight happened out there, or was it a little later?
I don't recall when I noticed.
Okay, but you did notice it.
Yes.
So were you part of the ones who went with them all the way down to the first cell?
Yes.
And while y'all were in there, did it break out again?
Yes.
But were you down there for a little while before it did?
Oh,
Or do you
I'm
remember?
mistaken. I don't recall 100%.
Okay. While you were down there in that first cell, there's
Yeah, we were down there for a minute.
Yeah. Notice any feces on the wall, urine anywhere? There's no?
No.
Okay. I just make sure she's got to type it down. So is this y'all walking down the hall towards cell number 1?
Yes, sir.
And where y'all going?
To ISO 1.
And did everybody go in there except Arliss Anderson?
I don't recall.
Who's that? Do you know if that's Lieutenant Ford and Arliss Anderson standing out in the hallway? You can't see that far back behind you?
Oh, no.
Can't tell?
Those look like Anderson and Ford.
Okay. But you were in that cell and nothing in there caused you any concern about whether Mr. Peoples needed to be moved because of some kind of bad. Okay. How fast would
it? Thomas, it's here. The day this situation took place, when you went down there to look into that isolation cell, what was your reason for looking?
I remember talking with you, trying to calm me down, de-escalate. If I were to guess, it would be to go check on it for you to relay that it is clean.
When you came back, do you remember whether or not you told me?
I cannot recall, but I'm sure I did. I mean,
how often did you work Max again?
I worked Max for years.
Like, did they have you back there on a daily basis?
Yep.
So when there was always a situation with an inmate, 9 times out of 10, you would be amongst it, right?
Yeah, I would.
How many times did you have to have this type of combative? How many times you seen me back there with this type of combative behavior?
I don't recall specifics. It's been a long time, but we would have occasionally incidents like this.
But with me,
I don't recall people. It's been years.
Yeah. And look, from what you do recall, you barely had interaction with me.
I don't know.
No further question.
Nothing further, Judge.
Is this man excused?
Please, Judge.
And you are excused, sir. Thank you. Next, please.
Paul Arliss Anderson. Thanks, sir.
I didn't even tag him. He was number 5, wasn't he? I think we need a timeline with a clear delineation of what's pre-poop and post-poop on the behavior, because the video is just not clear. I mean, we just watch it roll and roll and roll, but...
Forward, please. And raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Please have a seat. Thank you.
Let's keep that chair forward a little bit. The last person was the farther away they were. Can you state your name for the jury, please?
Sergeant Anderson.
Is it Arliss Anderson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where do you work?
Jefferson County Correctional Facility.
How long have you worked for them?
Almost 30 years.
What do you do?
I supervise the inmates and officers so they ensure their safety.
What's your rank out there?
Sergeant.
Sergeant. Back on June 6th of 2023, were you with the Jefferson County Correctional Facility?
Yes, sir, I was.
And in what capacity?
So I was acting as a sergeant, assisting on maximum security.
Were you called to isolation cell, nor isolation 6?
I was delivering property, and that's not they was having a problem with that cell.
Okay.
The inmate themselves.
So nobody called you, just happened to be in the area?
Yes, sir.
All right, and when you got there, at what point did you get there?
Just as they was about to launch the pepper balls into the cell.
Have you ever seen pepper balls being launched into a cell before?
Yes, sir.
On fewer many occasions? What's the purpose of launching the pepper balls?
Cause a reaction from the inmate to comply.
And do most of them comply after that?
Yes, sir.
Looking at State's Exhibit 1, is that you kind of leaning up against the bar there?
Yes, sir. Looks like it.
Now, at some point, did the pepper spray work?
Yes, sir. It appeared to be.
No, I mean, did it work on the inmate? Did it make him comply?
No, sir, not at all.
So what was the next step that had to be done?
We were going to have to go in and extract him.
Now, looking at everybody that's in this area right before the extraction, is this you up against the wall?
Yes, sir, it's topic.
And when this door opens, do you have any type of non-lethal weapon?
Yes, sir, I have a taser.
Okay. So you have a taser in your hand. What's the purpose of the taser?
This cause a reaction from the inmate to comply to electrical shock. Something thereof.
Did you in fact use that taser?
Not at that moment.
Did you use it later? Or do you recall?
I was about to, I had extracted it from the holster. And during that altercation, I yelled taser for everybody to clear out the way so I could pull it. But
nobody cleared out?
No, sir.
Okay. So when the individual, do you see the individual who came out of that cell here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Can you point to and describe an article of clothing wearing?
Wearing black shirt.
Record reflect he's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
So when the defendant came out of the cell, did you see anything in his hands at that point?
Yes, sir. He had two humans, one in each hand, strapped with cloth.
Did that concern you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why would that concern you?
It was being used as a weapon to hurt us.
Was he saying anything? Do you remember him yelling anything or saying anything?
I remember he was going to kill you, Lieutenant Buller.
Now, did you just move the mattress out of the way?
Yes, sir.
Is this you right here leaning over Lieutenant Toad? Or is that Lieutenant Guard?
Sorry. Yes, that's me right there.
That's you right there, leaning over Lieutenant Ford.
Yes, sir.
So while they're on the ground there, could you see the defendant?
Yes, sir.
What did he look like to you?
Enraged, angry.
When you saw him, was his face kind of like it is in State's Exhibit 8?
The eyes was wide open.
What did he have in his hands?
Two gray beans strapped around each wrist.
And while you're watching, what was he doing with those hands?
I'm getting clenched. Fine stab.
What did he do? What did he do? Show the jury what he did with those. And who did he stab anybody?
Lieutenant Buller.
Where did he stab him at?
Across the right eye.
So that scratch right there, did he also hit him in the body?
Yes, I think that might have been from his hands.
Okay. But you do remember him hitting the head and scratching down with the pin. Was he still flailing with the pins?
Yes.
Were people trying to get him under control?
Yes, we were.
So was he saying anything then?
So I'm going to kill you.
Who was he looking at when you're saying that?
Looked like he was looking at Lieutenant Buller.
Were y'all able to get him finally subdued and under control? After a while?
Yes. After a while, after a struggle, we were able to pull one hand, his left hand back. I was able to pull the pin fell out of his left hand. And as I was pulling his right hand down, pulled it from his right hand.
So you got the 8 pins away from him out of his hands?
Yes, sir.
And you just chunk them aside? Or what'd you do with them?
I think I dropped them to the side away from him and proceeded to handcuff him in front.
Is it policy at the jail to handcuff somebody in front or handcuff them at the back?
Well, he's being difficult and being very combative and resistance. So we're just trying to get him his hands restrained. Normally, if he was just cooperating, coming out of the cell, would be in front of him. But when they're being combative, we normally try to restrain him behind him. But he was being such
combativeness and violence. We was trying to get
Just-
restrained.
Just give him cover.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then again, in the hallway, did he start up again?
Yes, yes, he did. At that point, I had a set of leg irons retrieved so we could restrain his feet and get a little more control of him.
So what are the leg irons we're talking about?
Leg irons, they strap around, they cuff around the ankles with about a foot of chain to give him some mobility, but limit the mobility.
So they can walk, but they can't run or do things.
Yes, run to restrain.
So is that what you are doing now?
Yes, sir.
And then is he walked somewhere?
Have to lift him up. And as we do, he tries to lunge at Lieutenant forward.
So when y'all get him down the hallway, where are y'all taking him to? Do you remember?
Isolation cell 1.
When did you go into isolation cell 1 with him?
Yes, sir.
So you and Ford are standing. Is that y'all standing here at the edge?
Sort of see.
Let's see. Can you tell us if that's you down there?
Yes. That looks like me right there.
Okay. Y'all are looking in the cell, right?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Ford's got his head in the cell, right?
Yes, sir.
And there were several other people that went in the cell with him, right?
So,
Was there any feces all over the wall? Was there anything smeared around that or was the cell clean?
no, sir, the cell was clean.
The weakest part of this story is the defendant saying
Was there
he
another
knew
problem in that cell?
one
There's no
cell
problem
was
in the cell.
dirty.
No, I mean with the inmate in that cell.
Oh, yes, sir.
And what did y'all end up having to do?
We placed him down on the bunk, and I noticed he had a taser bar lodged in his uniform. I tried to retrieve it. The defendant tried to bite him.
Do you know how the taser bar got there?
Yes, from I think it was from Lieutenant Ford's station.
Okay. So, but there wasn't anything in his skin. It was just in his uniform.
Just in his uniform.
So he never actually got tased.
That's right.
So then what did y'all do with him after that?
Well, Lieutenant Ford had deemed him that he was still violent, so we decided we'll need to restrain him in a raft for a full period.
Okay. Is that what y'all did?
Yes, sir.
In that situation that y'all had, do y'all have to do that somewhat frequently or just every now and then?
Periodically, they're very combative.
Okay. Had you had prior dealings with Mr. Pickles before this?
Not until then.
Okay. This was the first time you had it?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass it.
Mr. Anderson. So you say when I came out the cell, with both hands? Was that immediately or?
From my perspective, yes.
As soon as I came out and I swung like this, one of the pins hit him or both of the pins hit him?
Just one.
Just one. So, did you get a chance to see the whole part when I came out the cell and you were standing right there? Did you get a chance to watch? Yes. And as I was coming at that cell, you on this video, you see me between your both hands.
I'm remembering from my recollection during that time.
Oh, but did that happen when you watched the video? Just
That's what it looked like.
okay. So let me ask you a question. Did you know why I was being combative at the time?
No, I didn't know.
So when you went down, when y'all got me down to that cell, did you look in that cell, look around to make sure it was clean?
Once we got you behind the
Like, why did you look to make sure it was clean?
I didn't know. I just knew we were trying to get you down there at that time.
Right. So there would be no reason for you to look to make sure it was clean again, correct?
It's clean, no.
So I've been back to this county in this county jail in isolation for about 12 months now? You think of when I'm right? Am I right? It seems about right. So when I first got back, did I seem disrespectful, irrational, or combative?
Not this time around, not so far.
You work doing M&N max security quite often, right?
Absolutely.
So on a regular basis, did you have to take me out? Like, okay, wrong question. Let me switch that up. So every day when I come out myself the day room, that's every other day, right? For 1 hour.
For one time.
So when I do come out to the day room, do you remember whether or not I'm able to use that phone?
No.
No. What had to happen for me to use the phone?
You know, about to book in to use the phone, and also about to do office to use the phone.
He's mumbling.
You remember how often that had to happen? Do you know whether or not you were obligated to do that?
No.
You didn't have to. So are you aware of the policy of Jefferson County Correctional Facility? Would you say it's true under Section 7 of the policy, right? Article 7 of inmate access to telephone, right? They call it security phone, correct? It says on here, it says in the, tell me if I'm correct or not. It says from 9:00 a.m. to 900 hours to 2200 hours, inmates shall have access to the telephone, security telephone, from Sunday through Saturday. Do you remember it?
I do. It's also a regulation. It can be revoked.
It can be revoked. How? You remember how?
So you just remember that.
Under that article also, it said the inmate shall limit his phone calls to 15 minutes. Do you remember that part?
Mm-hmm.
No. So if you have to go through a disciplinary process, right? Do that mean I'm obligated to use the phone unless I'm being combative or irrational or, out of control or something like that?
I think we both, if you've been yours, yes.
Right. But what if I'm not? Are you able to revoke it then?
When I was taking down, it was pretty. But she loves it. That's all she's playing. Phone and the baby was not working.
Right. Do you remember how long that was? Let's see. If I give you an estimation about 4 or 5 months, should that seem about right? So if there's a telephone in the day room for the inmates, shouldn't the inmates be able to have access to that telephone when you come out to the day?
Here comes an objection.
Judge,
trying to see the relevance of this. I'll let him go a little while, but I'm objecting.
Aren't you accused of the first-degree felony of aggravated assault against a public servant?
Right.
Well, let's get off the phone. Let's get on what the issue is all about, sir, and that's whether you committed aggravated assault. Thank you. Please stay on the ball. Thank you.
So the fact that the jail was blocking my access to the telephone, would you consider that retaliation to make me submit to signing or signing for some time for this charge right now?
I don't know if they would go off in the phone. I'm not sure.
No.
No, they probably told me not to let you use the phone calls.
They weren't blocking my phone. Why would you have them take me to booking?
I don't know. You said you could not make phone calls.
Why couldn't I make phone calls? Don't I supposed to be able to?
If you're allowed on the disciplinary action, you were being cooperative.
But I couldn't, right?
And I don't know, that's what I told everybody else, but for the cabins, there's nothing obstructing your phone calls.
And you checked on
it? Yeah, I did check on it.
The fact that you were the only, okay, would you believe that Lieutenant Ford said something different about his injury?
No.
Would you believe that he said the same thing you said?
Not from the Lord.
No. Would it be a reason that he would say that his injury came from my fingernail? No. You think he might have not seen what happened?
I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't know what he said. I just observed what I seen.
No further questions.
Mr. People said he came back in 2023. Is he gone for a while?
Yes, sir. He came back last year.
Where'd he go?
TBC, Texas Department of Corrections.
Went to prison, right?
Yes, sir.
We brought him back to do this from, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll pass it.
All right. Your excuse. Thank you.
One last
Well, come on.
When they brought me back, do you remember me having my paperwork with me? Like, you remember when you got me from bookend? Because when I got back to the jail, you was the very first person I seen. Do you remember that?
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you are excused, sir. Thank you. Next, please.
Neville Keeker.
Thank you.
That officer remembered things very differently from the officer who got injured. Says the injury happened to Mr. Ford right as the defendant was pulled out of the cell. That's when he attacked, when he lunged. And Mr. Ford said the injury didn't happen till later, either the second or the third time they got taken down to the ground, which is after when that witness said he had removed the pens from him.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. And please have a seat. Thank you.
Pull that microphone right down close to your mouth.
State your name for the record, please.
Lieutenant DeVille Tinker.
Lieutenant, where do you work?
Jefferson County Corrections.
I know it's kind of obvious, isn't it? How long have you worked for them?
Since 2013.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a lieutenant at the jail. I supervise officers and inmates to make sure the inmates are doing what they're supposed to do, and officers are making sure that the inmates are alive, well, and, as far as the safety.
You know an inmate by the name of Raymond Pickles.
So,
you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir. This is one there in the black shirt.
Record reflects he's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
How do you know Raymond Pickles?
And dealing with him at the jail, such as
Giving you his what time?
His rec time that he's supposed to receive, and his day room times, and other odd dealings with him.
What other odd dealings? What other odd dealings?
His issues as far as him having issues or problems with how we're doing things in the jail. That's not to his satisfaction.
So he has his opinion about how y'all should do your job.
Yes, sir.
And do y'all find that he's always trying to tell you how to do your job?
Typically,
well, back on April 4th, somewhere in 2026. 14th, sorry, I got one digit off. Yes. April 14th of 2026, did you have a dealing with Mr. Peoples?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what was the situation? Where was this at?
It was in the day room area that they have for the isolation cell.
Okay. And was there a problem or an issue that you were having with Mr. Peoples?
The issue is he accused me of a week or so prior of denying him food tray. So he asked me that day if I was going to give him the tray. I told him I was not, because I did not deny him. And he laid on the floor as to not comply with going back to his cell.
So what happens is that kind of like a little child?
Yes, sir, it is.
So he's laying on the floor. What are you going to do to try to get him up?
He wanted me to put him in the restraint chair. I made the decision at that time, no, I'm not going to put you in the restraint chair. I'm going to put you to the cell, which is
Did he become angry?
Yes, we had to actually physically pick him up and walk him to the cell, which he did not comply. He grabbed the bars and things such that irate and upset.
Was he saying anything to you?
He said multiple things, actually. He was mad. He made multiple comments about how my supervisor has me doing things that I'm not supposed to do, or they're making me do things to him. He also made a comment such as I'm gonna kill this, referring to me. And he also said, I stabbed those white boys, referring to, he said Morgan's name specifically. He said Anderson's name specifically. You don't think I was stabbing?
So he admitted to stabbing officers?
Yes, sir.
And did he say I'll get away with it?
He said I have and will.
Said I have and will get away with it.
Yes. And I actually have my body now.
Okay. So when he said this to you, did you take that as a threat to you?
Yes, sir. I did.
Was he saying it nicely? Was he saying it angrily? How would you say it?
Oh, no, he was very irate. He come back.
I mean, when we see him in the courtroom today, he's kind of calm and docile, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Can he be that way?
Yes, he can.
When he gets his way?
Yes, he can.
What is he? Look at State's Exhibit number 8. Is that what he looks when he doesn't get his way? Now he didn't actually stab her or do anything to you, did he?
No, sir. He wasn't able to. He actually had to hold her, and we ended up getting him to his cell, giving him unrestrained.
Okay. Ever had other dealings with him since then?
Not necessarily. He'll say things like that. But as far as physical, getting physical with him, anything like that, no, sir.
Okay. I'll pass with him.
Contention. Do you remember my contentions about that day on why I wanted you to give me that tray? Like, you remember what my reason was?
Yes, your reason was that you said that I denied you a tray, which I did not do.
So, do you remember me telling you that I was allergic to onions?
We had discussed it earlier that week that you were allergic to onions, and you said that you had received a tray that had onions in it, and that an officer called me and told me that you had a tray with onions in it. I told you I did not receive that phone call, and you said that officer told you that she called me, and that's not the case. She did not call me. I also told you that per policy, if you tell me that you have a tray that has onions on it, you're allergic to it, I will go to the front, go to the kitchen and get you a tray that does not have on it.
Do you remember that day that I still had that tray from the day before?
That was not the day before.
When was it?
I don't know when you received the tray. I don't know when you received the tray.
It was the day before.
I don't know that.
Hold on.
Sorry.
You can
Okay.
testify later.
All right,
You ask him a question.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So, you don't know when you say, but you say it wasn't the day before, but you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So when I opened that tray and showed you the onions in, and that I didn't get to eat, did you accommodate me by giving me the tray that I didn't receive?
Not at that time, no, I did not.
But do you do remember me opening the tray and showing you the onions, right?
Yes.
So you just testified correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not just testify that if I did have a tray with onions on it, that you would have to?
That I knew of. I did not know. I was not the person that you got that tray from. I did not know that. I never received a call about that. As far as I know, that tray could have been from a week ago.
Do you remember me telling you the officer that brought me the tray, and her telling me that she told you that I didn't eat?
I told you. She said that she said that you said that she told you she called me. I tell you, I've never received a phone call.
With you being a supervisor, would that be your responsibility to check?
To check what?
To check to see if my allegations is true.
What allegation?
That I didn't get to eat the day before, and my witness was a CO.
I asked her. She said that she never told you that she called me.
Is it true at the time you told me that you didn't know nothing about it?
I didn't until you told me.
But if you didn't know about it until I told you, when did you ask her?
I asked her the following day after we had the discussion.
Okay. So, by me bringing it to your attention at that time, is it your responsibility, which you've been the supervisor, to check at that time?
To check what?
To see if my allegations were true.
This is the real issue.
What allegation?
That I didn't get to eat. And the officer told me that the kitchen wouldn't bring me my diet tray.
That was never discussed with me before.
It wasn't discussed with me and you.
The only thing you and I discussed was the fact that you said that you received the tray with onions on it, and that the officer had called me. And I said, no, I never received a call. If I had received a call about you having a tray with onions on it, I would have went to the kitchen and got you another tray. That's the only thing we discussed.
Well, let me ask you this. If I told you that I didn't get to eat, wouldn't that rectify the fact that the kitchen wouldn't bring me the tray that I was supposed to have?
Just because you told me you didn't eat does not mean that you didn't eat.
So why didn't you check to see if that allegation was true?
Check what allegation?
The fact that I didn't get to eat.
Who am I supposed to check it with, the officer or you?
The officer.
The officer told me that she not called me about a tray, but that she gave you a tray.
You said you checked the next day, right? I'm talking about the day that I was acting combative. Why didn't you check to see if my allegations were true?
That was a week later.
The day that I was being combative?
Yes. We had been going back and forth about this tray for a week before that. You don't remember?
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Well, sir, again, you're making a statement. You asked me a question. Sir, well, you know, if anytime you want to take a stand under oath, you have that opportunity. But if he answers a question in the form of answers in the form of a question, you don't answer him back. You're supposed to ask the questions. There's nothing funny about this. This is deadly serious, sir. I know you find this humorous, but follow the rules. Everyone at that point has to follow the rules. Sir, ask questions. Don't give him answers and argue with him. Ask your next question.
All right. So, do you remember as we was going in that cell, right? And you said I was being combative, and I threatened to, and I admit that I stabbed the other two underwater. Do you remember whether or not you brought me that tray at that day?
I did bring you a tray at the end because I was tired of building the situation. But it's not that I did not need the tray on the day that you said I did not need the tray. I was actually rectifying the situation to just get rid of it.
I noticed. Let me ask you this. I noticed you told the Mr. Laird that your body cam was on the day.
Yes, it was.
Did you happen to have it with you though?
My body cam?
Yeah, I know the footage.
I don't have it, but that was from jail before.
So on that body cam, on that body cam, are you sure of my admission to me stabbing another officer?
Yes, you said that.
Okay, that might be an issue.
Oh,
if that evidence exists.
Okay. My other question: do you remember a situation dealing with my stamps? The situation, the same kind of situation, right? Where I lay down on the ground and I gave you a issue, the same kind of issue. You remember that? So that day, when I gave you that issue, right? Do you remember what that issue was about, specifically dealing with the stamps? Do you remember how that transpired? Yeah. Part. Do you remember that you had to swap out some items at commissary to bring me my stamps because the commissary worker purposely skipped my stamps so that I wouldn't be able to send off my meal? Do you remember?
I didn't do it.
You didn't do that? No. So that wouldn't be on your body cam that you had to swap out my food because of a purposeful act, a purposeful wrongful act on your CO's behalf in commissary. You know, you don't think that would be on the you don't think that would be on the body cam?
That would not be on the body cam.
No. So that day we was having the issue, what was it about?
What issue?
Where I refused to leave the brickyard and I laid on the ground.
Oh, the stamp.
Just say, Mr. Peoples, help the jury out. We're talking about the indictment, which says on or about June 6, 2023, that we're talking about this event. Help the jury in what period of time you're talking about with these questions, because we don't know what date it is. Help us out. Ask the question, please, so the jury can understand. Thank you.
July.
He doesn't know the date either. Doing the math in his head.
May 5th, 2026. I was telling you, I need my stamps so I can send off my petition to the Supreme Court or I would be barred. You remember that?
Yes, I remember it.
And you said that you was too busy and that's why you didn't do it, right?
First of all, I told you at that time I was busy, but you also said that you had spoke with Sergeant Wright and Sergeant Wright was supposed to know what you done.
Sergeant Wright, I told you, let me refresh your memory. Do you remember me telling you Sergeant Wright supposed to told you to do it for Dave because he worked on the evening. So he's supposed to pass the message along to you.
And I never got it.
So you didn't tell me that morning that Sergeant White told you that morning?
Yes, he did tell me, but he did say something to me about that, and I did tell you at the time, yes, I would please, because I have other inmates and other things to deal with, other than just you have one.
So would it have been easy for you to rectify the situation by just by you ordering another CO to go and handle the business so that I wouldn't get barked on the Supreme Court?
And past Delhi's review, I would have felt it would have been better for me to do it myself so that I know that it's done rather than for you to say that somebody else did it.
Barred from the Supreme
I didn't
Court.
have somebody else to do it.
Judge, I want to object again. We're getting far away.
Justine, you're asking about something 3 years after.
Okay,
Sir, sir, when I speak, please, I know you've got a habit of speaking over everybody. Just, you have a fair opportunity to be heard. When the court speaks, you can only take one person at a time, and the Court of Criminal Appeals says she's got to do her job or else somebody gets in trouble. Look, you're asking about something that happened a month or two ago. Again, remember the four corners of this indictment are alleging an event on or about June 6, 2023, 3 years ago. But stay on the focus of what is at issue, what's relevant. It's the allegation in this indictment on or about that date of aggravated assault. Please stay focused on that issue. Thank you. Ask your next question.
Can I tell my rebuttal? So the DA.
No, I've made the order. You have a chance to be heard later.
You didn't get to argue it.
Outside the presence of the jury.
Okay.
You ask your next question.
Well, character-wise,
He didn't get to argue his side of that objection.
We had an issue with each other. It would be a serious issue, correct?
No.
How many issues have we had with each other?
I don't count. I can't tell you. Sure.
Do you recollect earlier telling the DA, Mr. Laird, that it hasn't been me?
No, so that to me.
You never say that to me. No further questions. Oh, no, I'm lying.
Go ahead.
Oh. Is it? Oh. Oh. Yeah, he's not the right person. Never mind.
All right. Is this man excused? Or
Yes, please, Judge.
All right, you are excused, sir. Let's take another short break, ladies and gentlemen. Refresh and keep the blood moving. We'll see you back in 10 minutes.
He's
Thank
looking
you.
at specific juror. Wake up, juror. 10 minutes. Let's hear, outside the presence of the jury, his argument here. I think the judge does want to get to that. What paper are we looking at now? Finding that victim something. Let's let the jury leave. We're at 38 pen mentions. See if we get a whatnot here.
We're in short recess. Thank you.
No whatnots granted. Defendant goes back. All right, another 10-minute break. Cass, member for 33 months. Beautiful service for Lindsay, South Carolina Graham. Are you like him, bringing peace to hard topics and laughter? I like to find middle ground, not necessarily compromising certain strongly held positions, but just because I have a disagreement with somebody doesn't mean that needs to be the focus of all of our interactions. we probably have a lot more in common than we have different, and so I tend to approach things that way. Let's see. Cass, by the way, OG, 33 months. That was a little voice crack on the OG. And also we had Ricky C. deserves an OG. Is that a Red Courthouse? Time is flying, Ricky C. It sure is. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, both of you, for your long-term support. Almost 3 years, and almost 3 years. That's incredible. All right. Judge called to break, I think, for the jurors' benefit. Here's what I'm gathering. In my opinion, the corrections facilities are an easy place for someone who is granted a little authority to overstep their bounds and sort of make life miserable for people who are under their control. I'm not saying all corrections officers are bad. I've seen some fantastic ones and just incredible entire facilities where, you know, it might be hard pressed to find a bad nut. But it sounds like the defendant has what he sees as legitimate gripes, legitimate complaints. I was served food with onions in it. I'm allergic to onions. I have a special dietary tray. I went to the CO to say, look, I've got this, I was given this tray. It has onions on it, and he wouldn't get me more food. I didn't get to eat. That's a big deal, right? And it's a bigger deal to the inmate, obviously, than it is to the corrections officer. And then him saying, hey, he says, I'm going to get disbarred by the Supreme Court. I don't think he was a lawyer. I'm pretty sure he's not meaning disbarred. I think he's talking about a time limit to file a certain motion where it has to be filed within a certain time. And he's saying I'd be barred from filing the motion if I don't get it in and I need a stamp. Can you get me my stamp? And he's like, no, I'm too busy. If that deadline comes and goes because the officers wouldn't give you a stamp, I can see that's an issue. And obviously, it's a bigger issue for the inmate than for the corrections officer. None of this justifies flinging poop and, you know, coming at somebody with pens. But I've seen in this trial, the officers all seem to testify to support each other almost too readily. So maybe this prison has some issues. And maybe the defendant has some legitimate complaints. It still sounds like he's probably guilty here. But when you've got witnesses that, the victim doesn't remember when the event happened. The victim doesn't recall how it happened. And the only witness who claims he watched it happen says it happened at a time several minutes apart from when the victim says it happens. What are we watching? Commercials in the corner? Like a YouTube commercial? Oh, no, it's a body cam still. Why are we watching body cam? It's walking down. Down to cell 1. This is the body cam of the tray being delivered? What is this? Keeps going. Anyone getting a flickering screen? Nope, not me. Lady in red makes an appearance. As does someone in orange. Coincidence? I think not. sure why we're watching this body camera footage. Last time we need is ads and courtroom feeds. It would all be lawyers. Lawyers and bail bondsmen. Allergic to eggs. Oh my goodness. I couldn't do that. What is Stevens eating? I'm thinking it's a Werther's. It's definitely a hard candy. Oh, did I miss the takedown? What just happened? He's going down. Just a prior. And he's being carried. Oops. Ran into the door. Sorry about that. We'll try again. Let's see if we can go through. Oh, he's holding on to the door. He's hanging on to the door. So we have to stop in the doorway now. Stands back up, says, I don't want to go out that door. They say you have to. I think they're watching MSNBC lockup. No, this is body cam. It's that same facility. What are we watching? Phoenix Feather, I do stream at a little higher quality than a lot of channels. And YouTube might have an issue with that, depending on which server you're going through. Let me double check my streaming settings right now. Output on air. I can fix it in like maybe 2 seconds. Let me try it. But it's going to make a spinning wheel on the screen. Okay, there's going to be a spinning wheel on the screen for about 5 seconds while I pause it and start it again. Just 1 second. Okay, we're back. Let's see if that fixes it. Did that fix it? Let me know if it did. How do you do that, Greeners? How do you type upside down? That was painless. Yeah, it didn't hurt much at all. Just put a little tighter compression on the video that I'm sending out. It's a YouTube issue. Tell you, I'm waiting for YouTube to open up SRT streaming for me. I just SRT would be so much better. Like, it uses the same bandwidth as a 1080 stream, and it puts 4K in that stream, so I can push 4K from anywhere. And it's much more resilient for dropouts and things like that. But all right, time's up. It's been 10 minutes, Judge. Let's go ahead and bring everybody else back out. Not sure what this video's for. We've sort of been paused at this point for a little while. Okay, bring the jury. Bring the jury. Let's do this. It's already 5 o'clock, Judge. Oh, thank you for the eagle. Appreciate that. That was a beautiful. I looked over and see the bird flapping on my screen. That's awesome. So technically, you gave me the bird, but I'm grateful. I appreciate that. Judge is like, I could have retired last year. I could have finished that case on that murder conviction, and now here I am on the poop slinging. Okay, here we go. And really, Julia, we've had good moments and low points. But we're almost to the end of the state's case, and then it's going to get interesting as the defendant's going to take the stand as probably his only witness. Going to go get the defendant. So bring him out. Judge is waiting patiently, as are we all. Judge, we're burning daylight here. If you could summon everybody. I have sound. We're just waiting. Come on, Judge. Okay, it looks like the jury's coming back, maybe. Judge is paying attention. Papers off. Defendant's back. Hit the button. Call your next witness. Let's get the show on the road. Here we go. It's a mess of a table, Mr. Prosecution. Look how clean and organized the defendant's table is. Yours looks like crap. I'm sorry. You ready, Judge? Oh, bailiff's bringing water for everybody. It's got an armload of bottles. I'll take one. Mine's mostly empty. Everyone's laughing, having a good time. The computer guy has moved up a row. Judge points. Looks like all the jurors are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, good. The jurors are here. Said call your next witness, but he also left the audio off. Here comes the next witness. Judge, you got to hit the button. You got to hit the button. We can't lip read. Not in 720p, we can't.
No. Hello.
Same witness is back. Right? We've seen this guy before. Judge, look at the screen. You can see you're muted, right? Can you unmute us? You know something's wrong in your head. It's like tickling your brain. Something's wrong. Forgot to do something.
In front of the Walmart.
Judge has a routine. When he gets up and leaves the desk, he mutes it. When he comes back, he unmutes it. He didn't get up and leave, I guess. So we have to now guess. So now we're watching some body cam footage that the officer has verified. Says, yep, I recognize that. You showed that to me earlier. Judge, anytime you're ready to... no, he just settles back in for a long winter's watch. We've got a chest-level body cam pointed at a computer. Body cam rolls. Looks like an officer at a desk in a corrections facility gets up, leaves the office, employees only, goes out the propped open security door to open the other propped open security door. Now an inmate area, walking down the row of cells on the left. For safety reasons, we've got a fire extinguisher on the right. Inmates are not allowed to use that. Goes past number 1. Come on, Judge, you're killing me. Goes out into the hall, sees some coworkers. Oh, we've got somebody with a problem. He's saying, but the problem's over here. I need you guys to address this issue. Is he the phone? I should get to make a phone call. I want to make my phone call. You guys won't let me make my phone call. Why not? I said, I want my phone call. I'm not leaving here until I get my phone call. He said, you got to go back to your cell. I said, nope, I'm not. I'm staying right here. I should get a phone call. This policy says I get a phone call. You don't get a phone call. You don't get there's no time. Okay. We can address this later, but right now you got to go back to your cell. So I'm standing right here until I get my phone call. Look, the phone's right there. All you got to do is let me make a phone call. Officer say, look, it's not my decision. I'm just following orders. So I'm gonna just pop a squat right here, laying down, little yoga style. And guards say, we know what to do then. You're in the carrying position. Nice. We'll go ahead and just lift, heave, ho, up we go. Let's grab the other leg, grab another leg. Not okay, yeah, there, that's better. And we go along, and he's like, oh man, that's not working. And he grabs the door, and oh, we got stuck. He's got a hold of the bars. And he's got a good hold of the bars. Let's set him down here. Everyone set him down, back up. Inmate says, I said I'm not going. I'm going to stay right here in this room until I get my phone call. I'm going to just go back in here, stand back up, do my thing. Be easier if you just let me get my phone call. The guard says, you're not going over to the phones. You're standing right there. He's like, I want my phone call. I'm pretty much verbatim what happened. And now we go into the distant view. This is for thematic reasons. Looking down the hallway with the point of diminishing viewpoint, where it all goes to a center point. It's for artistic reasons that we see this view. It helps the viewer understand the distance that the defendant is feeling from the people that he wants to be calling on the phone. And the bars with the light, the glaring light overhead, symbolizing the oppressive nature of corrections institutions in general. All right, we're just chilling. And he's still not going through the gate. Judge. He's in Texas, right? So it's 4 o'clock where they're at. This incident continues. Prosecutor says, we've seen enough. We've seen enough here. We're going to skip forward. Where are you guys getting thunder, Regina? Where are you at? I could probably look up where you're at, because I think you've shared that with us before. Oh, thanks, Judge. You hear us? Can you hear me now? Never mind, Judge. Can you mute us again?
That's what I want. That's all I want. That's all I want. This guy trying to fight. I don't know what they're making. This guy trying to fight me, but you don't fight what they're making doing this. You don't fight what they're making doing this. I promise you don't get the answer. That's how they operate. That's how he is. Public friend. Let me just take off. Let me just take off until they not take them once and they keep that they get. But I mean, it's just like I was more of a bitch head. Come on. If I people walk about the break that shit, yeah.
What did you just say?
So that'll give a
Just like I tried to stab Morgan and Ford and all them other white people.
I can't believe it. What made you think I want to come on? What made you think I want? Just like I do with them, I can't think of it. What's wrong with you? And it's all and guess what? Guess what? Do this shit. I know how to do this shit.
We don't be always all about that already. Always.
How many whatnots are we missing?
And I don't know, that's bringing on our relationship. That's it. They don't put a pressure on these other ones yet. Just put me in the chair. You spending weight and all that. I'm about ready to kill this dude. 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 Bro, I don't when you leave, we take this shit to the side. We take this shit to the side. Now, harass me, and go fuck shit. And think I'm about to lay down and you take that shit. Why you riding your bitch ass race free? You gonna give me my motherfucking food like you die. Or we gonna take this shit to my food.
Just
all these bitch ass niggas beating off my face, a song off me, and you wanna sit out here and get wrong with me. That bitch ain't gonna get wrong with me. Like I'm not. Hey, they all. John, this is a big. Stand behind soon as I walk there, I'm giving up. Soon as I walk there, I'm gonna let y'all show you. You hear me? When I put myself in the suit that I watch, soon as I walk there, I'm gonna let y'all strength me. Y'all missing the trick if I am. Y'all missing the trick. What an annoying friend. Mayor, take it all when you're finding straight people. I'm okay with eating that. I'm okay with eating that. I never denied the trick, people. I don't know why you're saying I denied your trick.
Okay, let me just say I'm going to mute this for a second. These guards are being incredibly patient. I can't tell the conversation, but their tone is calm, and his is not.
They have no reason. They fucking about food. They fucking about content already. You know what I'm saying? They fucking about what? And you better ask them what you want about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that I had to check in here. I had to come back in here for what? I had to wait till I come. Why? Why? No, ain't no malfunction. I'm pretty sure you could ask them on that question you did.
He's making a list of grievances right now.
Exactly. Go back to why the other down the malfunction? Why didn't they cover their money? Everybody go back there. Every episode is a primary episode. Exactly. So I basically now she keeps popping off on her fucking primary episode. They don't get it. Everybody's feet out in front of yesterday. Everybody's feet out in front of yesterday. That's what happened to it was like. I'm sorry, because I don't want to stop fucking with this shit. And then you know what happened to it, you want to go war. And that bitch, I'm not worried. I've been fighting for the past 10 years. I'm not going to war. I'm doing this shit. That's why I used to train in MMA for when I was young. I do this shit. I do this shit.
That's the confession. You pull up the track out of the this shit over. This shit over. You pull up the track that I'm telling you right now. Open up the track that I'm telling you. This shit over. It's submitted. Yes. Now it's over. Don't take part in that. But all this. The nine motherfuckers. All the shit down there. All the shit down there. If you want to get this challenge, if you want to have this shit, I will make sure. I bring everything in. Everything in. Because I'm going to make sure I'm going to do all this shit I've been doing for you. Because if you want to work with me, I have to do this shit. I promise you. I know it's real. I know it's real. If you want to work with me, I have stupid shit. I know it's real. Trade the please. Don't work with me, I have stupid shit. He's like that dude, it's never the birds and trade. Listen. What's up? You gotta understand this. First and foremost, like I told you yesterday, I did not got 9-year-olds. That woman never talked to me. Well, tell her to look. I ain't gonna tell her nothing. I ain't telling you that. I'm telling you that because you always lying. I'm not lying to you. I haven't given you this to stop. I haven't given you what you want. I'm not lying to you. You told me that you can't find it. Then that's fine. You gonna tell me what my business is? What I told you was, what I told you was, that what I've always said was this. I have to answer to you. I've asked him, he did not give me an answer. If I told you I asked him, you don't say, well, this ain't working. I said, you don't give me an answer. You don't say, well, what's that? I know exactly what you're talking about. I ain't buying with something. You were in ISO 6. You were in ISO 6, and I told you just what I told you. It's not everything, but you know, as far as this trade situation, I never denied you nothing. We're still talking about onions.
Onion diet, and they were trying to give you an onion tray. Then I was not denying you a tray. Well, if you did, it was on your watch. So you got on your watch. You can't blame me for something that I think I do. You do? Okay. You get the cuffs back. You let us do what we got to do. All you have to do is understand that I will get the cuffs back. You need to train it. That's not how it goes. Okay, well, you give us our cuffs back, and I give you a train. I'm not putting you in the chair. Okay, I'm putting you in the chair. Like he said. Like he said. Like he said. Like he said. If you give him the cuffs back, you get a train. If you give him the cuffs back,
They
you
want,
get them the cuffs back.
they want their handcuffs.
You get the trade. I heard him tell you that.
What is it? What is it? Trade. Yeah, I want to get your shit, man. Chill.
I just told you.
I spoke to them. I did that too. They come in and I want your food. I didn't do that. Take your shit, man. Listen to you.
So he got his tray. Now they're getting the cuffs back. Now he's complaining about air conditioning.
I just told you. Give up your cuffs and you'll get your tray. I ain't got no reason to lie to you. Like I told you before. I don't give a fuck about you like that, bro. I don't. I have no reason to fuck over you. You are not that important for me to fuck over you like that. You're really not. Okay. So I'm a fuck nigga, but I'm trying to work with you to get your tray. I'm a fuck nigga, but I'm working with you to get your tray. Don't read that. She got it. Why are you putting that out?
You good? Oh, okay.
Got the cuffs. There we go.
Mary Piggy, give him another no onion.
Give him another no onion, he says.
Nah, just call for your trade, Mr. Pickles. You heard me? Okay. Well, all right. Look here. I tell you what. When you get your tray, I need a apology. All right? Yeah.
When you get your tray, I want an apology. Oh. That could have been an email. This guy's done this for 30 some odd years. I could not. If this was work every day, nope. I'd rather dig ditches. It's hard work.
No, that's right. With this wife trying to get this goddamn man.
So this tray you were giving him, was that making up for the tray that he had lost, or are you just giving him his tray for lunch that day?
The first one that they gave him was the one that whenever they were struggling with him, they messed it up for whatever reason. After they stepped on it. So I was giving him that tray for that. The second tray that I called for was just to rectify the situation and just get it all over. It was not because I denied him a tray. It was just to make him feel better about the whole situation.
Okay. So he threw that big fit over a tray that happened a week ago before this?
It was like that Tuesday. Like I said, he said it happened on Tuesday, but this was Sunday that we had this situation.
So it's been a few days. Yes. And you don't give inmates meals to replace meals from days ago, do you?
No.
Oh, that's what it is.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to ask any questions?
Oh, yeah, he does.
True. Is it true that the first incident, the
Temper
first
tantrum.
incident was Thursday, 2 days after I informed you, after the incident, you had put me in a chair, remember?
I don't work Thursdays.
Well, okay, well, it must have been Friday. Remember?
I don't work Fridays.
Okay, then it must have been Wednesday. You don't remember putting me in the chair the
Just
first
wasn't
time?
a Tuesday.
I do remember putting in the tray. I just don't remember what the situation was.
About the food, the same situation. Because that means it was the day before, right? And the next day, I told you, I showed you, and then you had put me in the chair because you didn't want to give it to me. And you remember that?
Yes, I told because.
All right. And then that's why.
Hold on, he gets a chance to complete his answer. Don't cut him off. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, because I had told you that I did not refuse you a tray, and I never received a phone call from Ms. Banks. You said Ms. Banks told you that she called, right?
Right.
And I said, no, she did not. I never received a call. And you said, I don't. And I said, okay, Ms. Pickles, but I'm not giving you a tray.
And that was the first day after, and then you had put me in the chair, right? And then this was the second. All right. Is it true that all I was trying to get you to do was to rectify the situation so it would stop happening because I kept getting denied my food?
You kept blaming everybody for messing with your trays and all that. But I told you, I'm not giving you a tray, like I said just then on the video. I'm not giving you a tray on a Sunday or a tray that you not receive Tuesday. Or you say that I denied you Tuesday.
No further questions.
All right, is this man excused?
Please.
Your excuse, sir.
Run.
Next, please.
Run.
Judge, if I could have until in the morning, I have some things that came up with Mr. Peoples questioning your testimony that I need to coordinate with my assistant.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd be so kind, can y'all report back at 9:30? 9:30, please remember the instructions the court's given to you. We'll see you back then. Thank you. Everyone else remains seated while the jury exits first.
This trial is morphing from one thing to another. We thought it was over a pen stabbing. Then we found out it was over a poo fling.
I'm sorry.
And now it's over an onion tray. Ironically, the onion tray happened apparently a few months ago, where the charge came 3 years ago. Hey, how you doing, Judge? He just muted us.
Jury is exited. Anything to bring up? State defendant. We're in recess.
We're in recess. We've given you all the scoop on this one. A big old double scoop of poop, unfortunately, but we've given you everything we can on this case. They're going to be back again tomorrow. I want to see the whatnot counter just go off the charts and maybe catch up and exceed the point that the pen counter's at. Hey, how about that like button? Look at that. It's working. Oh, I have to. My battery's dead on my light. I have to charge it really quickly. There we go. Now you can see. Now you can see the button. Wrong color. There we go. All right, inmate stabbed an officer with a pen, allegedly, or possibly it was his thumb, his nail, his fingernail, after or before he was handcuffed. There's conflicting evidence on that one. This was all over a movement from, sorry, it was an attempted movement. There's no way to say this nicely. They were trying to move the prisoner from number 1 cell, not to number 2, but to number 6. The inmate did not want to go because he said somebody did number 2 in number 6, even though all the officers said it was clean and he is in solitary locked in number 1. He somehow knew that number 6 was dirty and refused to be transferred, and came at him with wrapped hands with ballpoint pens in them, and took like 5 or 6 of them to take him down and handcuff him in front and take the pens away from him. But he was still able to, after that point, supposedly stab or scratch the other officer. And then he was taken down to number 6, and all this was over him not getting a food tray some years after this event. If I understand it correctly. I know if you're confused, I am as well. How will all three intersect? I don't know. We'll put the onion tray from the thumbnail on the oh nice. We do have the onion tray. It looks great. Red, that's fantastic. Let's put this up here real quickly. Let's make it bigger. All right, here's the latest and greatest for the thumbnail. You can see we have the titles of the books. There's a lot of great reading to be done while you're locked up, and we've got the titles of the books. We've got the onion tray. We've got the poop on the walls. We've got the whatnots. The defendant. The pen is mightier than the pen is mightier trial. Yes, mightier than what? Mightier than flung poop, apparently. Anyway, that takes us to the end of the all the. We've got all the classics. Yes, those are great books. Greeners. Your speed with wit is unbelievable. I'm scared to get a peek inside your brain. That would wow. Great thumbnail. Yes, Red's done a fantastic job on thumbnails, and all of our mods are absolutely wonderful. Good job, whoever picked this case, says Georgia Van. Yes, Josh, you picked this case. Lois as well, thank you very much for your help today. Appreciate it. Amber has been here helping as well, and some behind the scenes. Hope everything's going well with all of y'all. I couldn't do it. I could not be a corrections officer. I thought until today that I could, but I cannot. This is too much. Day in and day out, any type of dealing with like this. I mean, it's not just like this is worse than being daycare at the bad kids school, right? This is rough. This is just it's a no-win situation for everybody, and everybody just hates everyone and just escalates. Love it, says Verns. Love it. I'll be relieved with the verdict. I hope everything comes out okay for everybody. We want a good outcome. You guys are you're so terrible. Josh, thanks for the distraction. I can't do this again. My stomach's still sore from last time. Same crap, different day tomorrow. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. To be alive again tomorrow morning. We'll be back again with more of the same, apparently. Everyone just needs to relax, yes. And it's hump day tomorrow. That's right, it's hump day. Which means I need to take the garbage cans out today, or else they're not going to get dumped. And it's recycling day tomorrow, which is just the garbage truck, again, coming up and picking up the blue bin instead of the green bin, and then dumping it the same place they dump the green bins. I don't know why they call it recycling, but that's how my town does it. You guys have a great night. We will see you in the morning. It's been fun. It's been fun. It's been different, and I'm sorry. We'll see you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.